masters and stuff like that. I'm not on the top level or anything like that. Like, even when I bumped into my truck A main, those tires there, I raced on the truck for a whole year straight. Before
they were probably paper thin. Just kind of proves the point. You don't have to have a fresh set of tires every run.
Yeah.
And be competitive. You may not be, anywhere near the top level.
Right.
But you're definitely up in the upper mid pack for sure.
Right.
And that's running a tire that you've run probably 50 times.
I ran that same set of tires at New Res twice. Ran the same, and it's the same tire. I still got them for some reason, but the same front and rear tire I ran in the Masters before that the year prior. And where else did I run those? I ran them at I ran them down at Hobbytown when I came down there when you was there living there.
Right.
I went and ran them there. So that same set was all I had, and I bumped into the A main in my truck. I mean, I gave it away. I gave the position away to somebody because that don't mean nothing to me. But I bumped in,
Yeah.
But it was, I mean, they were paper thin, but still it was. Or how is it? When I put on a fresh set, the car feels just super loose to me.
I think depending on what tire you're running, I think, are you scuffing them in? Are you sanding them a little bit to get the shine off the tire?
Scuffing them in, getting the shine. I don't
burning
burn
them in with some sauce?
No, I don't burn them in. I get them scuffed. I get the shine off, and then I sauce them up, and then I go out. I don't burn them in.
Yeah, I think depending on the brand, I think some of them need a little more massaging with getting the sauce burned into them.
Mm-hmm.
Some tracks I think you can go out with like the Clash. We were just sanding them. Well, we weren't sanding them. We were taking Scotch-Brite and just knocking the shine off and the center flashing off and saucing them and setting them aside. And then, sauce them again before we went out. And I had plenty of traction. I wasn't searching for any traction after that.
But like,
now Brent's will do the same thing. I know Brent's track at Myrtle Beach is, a lot of guys will burn in they'll use the liquid wrench and burn in their tires. They'll scuff the smoothies and then burn them in with liquid wrench at beach, and that seems to work really well.
Right.
Burn ours in with some FDJ.
Yeah, I was always afraid to burn tires in because I had to make them last. Yeah.
Well, hence the benefit of having a tire sponsor.
Yeah.
You can afford more than one set of tires.
Yeah, I was just always, and that's another thing. As soon as I get back from marshalling, the first thing I do is clean tires to get that sauce off of them or get them out of so make them last, Yeah,
and that's still something that I'm not sure about.
Mm-hmm.
So I know a lot of guys use Simple Green. I use Simple Green.
Yep.
I clean my tires, but
Simple Green is
clean. Pulling some of the sauce out of the tire.
Right.
You break in your tire. You scuff it, you sauce it, you burn it in, whatever you do, whatever your process is. Then you a lot of guys use full strength Simple Green, and it's a degreaser. So is it pulling some of that sauce back out of the tire when you wash it with Simple Green? Or should you dilute the Simple Green or just, thin it out to where it's not as harsh on the tire, not pulling so much sauce back out of the tire? I don't know. That's I've kind of changed my program to where I dilute my Simple Green now about 3 to 1 with water, and it doesn't seem as harsh on the tire, pulling the sauce back out of it. And I don't know if it's right or wrong, but that's just my theory. So that's what I started doing.
Do you scuff and burn your tires in before practice and qualifying, so you don't have to do it during the race weekend? Do you get it all done early, or do you do it as you go through the race weekend?
Yeah, don't get me started on tires. I hate gluing tires at the track. I hate doing all that tire work at the track. I know it's a necessary evil, but I try to get at least a couple sets mounted before I ever get to the track, and scuffed in before I ever get to the track. But nationals, you're going to be on a spec tire, so you're going to be gluing, scuffing, and prepping those tires before you ever hit the track. I try to do as much as I can at home before I get to the track, because I'd rather be wrenching on my car than having to sit there and mount tires.
Yeah,
I know I've sanded tires at the house, and I'll set up a table and chair outside in the driveway and sand tires, and I end up with a huge black rubber grease slick in my driveway. But we're in Florida, so it rains about every couple days. It'll rain and wash it away. But it's one of those necessary evils, I guess, we got to go through.
Right. Well, I did notice, like, the pro drivers will go ahead and get their tires and stuff knocked out. They may have...
Yeah, a lot of those guys, they'll do it the first day.
Yeah.
And especially here in Myrtle Beach, it kind of makes sense because, it's a fresh track. Anybody that's been here on the first day of practice knows that it's pretty green and pretty loose until the track kind of gets broken in. And so it's a good time to take the first couple hours and get all your tires mounted up and prepped while other people are running in the track, and then then you can throw your car out there and start setting it up. But one day of practice from Palmetto, which should be plenty. I think cars are probably pretty close already from where I've been running to here, so I'll do tires. Probably tonight at the hotel, and then first thing in the morning I'll probably do shocks. I'll redo shocks and diffs in the morning before we start practice.
Yeah, like I said, when at Masters or Palmetto, when I did go, I always start out on green because the track's fresh, green track, and then I'll go to blues and then silver, and then I don't know. To me, it seemed like on Sunday the traction isn't as high as Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I've been there where it's super high traction. Oh, I won't say super high. I'll say high might. I won't say super high might. But I've been at beach, where on Sunday the traction's pretty high. Higher than the day before. And then I've been there where, I don't know if it's the weather change on Sunday. The traction wasn't quite as high as it was on Saturday. I know this weekend it's going to be a little up and down because, like tomorrow, temperature's supposed to be in the 60s, no rain.
Right.
Saturday is supposed to rain all day. And then Sunday, no rain. So I expect the track's probably going to go through some big changes on each day. It's not going to, track will be totally different each day is what I'm thinking.
Right. Yeah. Since everybody's been to this track, I don't know if this warm-up race will have like turn out like for pro driver or some pros there. You know what I mean? Because the track that everybody's raced on.
Yeah, I mean there might be a few here.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of chatting a little bit on the X-ray page. I don't know of any X-ray guys that are coming.
Right.
Or I didn't see it mentioned anywhere, but I'm sure there's going to be a few guys here, you know, that are doing some testing for the rest of their teams.
Mm-hmm.
So they might have that information for the rest of their teammates, but I don't know who is going to be there. I haven't seen anybody announce that they're going to be there, so I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I think Lance McDonald is going to be announcing the race at Palmetto.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Him and his crew, Pat Rossiter.
Yeah, I saw Patrick just got himself a new Associated short course.
Yeah.
Along with his buggy now.
Is he running an Associated buggy?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. I like him announcing. I like Patrick Rossiter announcing.
Yeah, somebody with that much energy, he needs to be behind the mic.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, that's the best time. One of the best times I've had, you know, at a race was me, you, Patrick Rossiter, his dad, Owen, and your boy all hanging out.
Yeah, that was what was that, 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely a good time.
Pat Senior's just laid back.
Oh yeah, I was thinking Brian went with us too, but he didn't go with us that time, did he?
Nah.
Did he go with us?
Nah. Yeah, that was the last time we got good service or decent service at Hooters down there.
What's that?
I said that was the last time we got decent service at Hooters. I think it was the last time we got served at Hooters down there.
Yeah, I mean I know we went back the following year because we thought, we had great service the year before, and the next year was just terrible.
Yeah.
And you know, I think right now this month you'd probably get some decent service because it's still high season there. So
right.
Plus, I think spring break's going on, so you probably got some spring breakers there.
Right.
So you might actually have some decent service.
That Mexican restaurant we went to was really good.
Yeah, that place was good.
Yeah. Somebody was telling me or I think it was Owen was telling me there's a sushi or a Japanese place close by that's really good on the boardwalk or something like that, or close to the beach.
Yeah, we'll have to. We'll have to talk to Chris Van Air. He's the one that finds them places.
And Brian Robinson said that Brian Robinson and Thomas Stafford said there's a seafood place down there that's like really good if you like seafood.
Right.
What was it called? Hanahan's or something like that, or it's something like that. It's big seafood place, but it's good prices and good food, you know.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what the name of that is.
Yeah. You know, I'm surprised there isn't nothing around Brent's place, like even a fast food joint, like walking distance.
Yeah, it's not really that street really isn't a thoroughfare for all that. You know, it's kind of a side street off of the main street, so there's not going to be anything there.
Right. Yeah, I think you can. I think Walmart's not far from Brent's place. I mean, it's not walking distance, but I don't think it's far.
No, there's a lot of good stuff within, 10 minutes you can find something.
Yeah.
You don't have to travel any big distance to get to anything good. You'll find something.
Right.
You'll find something you like.
So, after Nationals, what races y'all going to hit up?
A lot of it's going to be the Florida 10 scale series.
Okay.
That Lance is doing.
Yeah.
I may try to hit some of his 8 scale stuff.
Right.
And I may, if I can get it past Mama, maybe go to an INS race.
Right.
If I can sweet talk her into it.
Right. Yeah. I'm thinking about actually like hitting up at least one big 8 scale race.
Yeah, that would be. Well, man, Psycho's coming up here, isn't it? Or did it already pass?
I think it's coming up.
Is it in March or is it in April? I can't remember.
I'm thinking April.
Yeah, I can't remember when that is.
You went to that one.
Yeah, I went to that 2 years ago.
What'd you think?
I loved it. I mean, that was really my first 8 scale race ever. I mean, I take that back. I drove Justin's e-buggy at the E-Nats in the 40 and over class. And, man, I had a ball. I mean, we just, it was his car. So it was, we were constantly working on it between him running it and me running it. So we had the setup pretty good.
Right.
He liked one type of tire. I liked a different type of tire. So we were swapping tires. But, I did pretty well. I think I made the A-main. And I think I finished 4th overall.
Okay.
And that, in the 40 and over, maybe 5th. I think I finished 4th overall.
Well,
but that was really, that was the first time running it. And then the next time I ran, I bought my own car. And I went to Psycho.
Yeah.
I borrowed a truggy.
Yep.
So I ran e-buggy and e-truggy. And I had a blast. I had a good time. So.
Did you go through tires up there pretty fast, or did they last?
No, I don't really remember going through tires that bad there. Now I probably, between the truck and the buggy, once I kind of landed on a tire, I might have went through 2 sets of tires.
Okay.
Maybe 3. I don't know. I'd have to. I got them marked in my 8 scale box of tires. My bin.
I heard that Psycho, some of the people around here was like, they went to it one time and they're good. They were like, that running, I think it's 24 hours or something, or nonstop. Or...
Yeah, and that's part of it. It's like Masters of Dirt. You're going to Masters of Dirt for the atmosphere, the race, the track, the after parties, all that. That's why you go to Masters. I think that's kind of why you go to Psycho. It's sorry, it's 24 hours a day. So you may have a qualifier at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And that's part of it. That's part of the experience and everything else. And,
yeah, I heard somebody.
Yeah, that's what makes it psycho, in my opinion.
I heard one of the guys, like, he, if he ever went again, he wouldn't get a hotel room. He would just get like a cot or something like that, or a tent. He wouldn't even be bothered going.
Well, yeah, I mean,
back.
I got a hotel room, but I think I was probably only in that for, I might have spent a total of 10 hours in my hotel room.
Right.
You know, because most of the time I was at the track, either, you know, for practice or for qualifying or, you know, whatever the case was.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all good, though. I enjoyed it. You know, a lot of guys come with their campers.
Yeah.
You know, they just camp right there at the track. So, hell, there's people in tents camping out, and it was snowing.
Yeah.
So that was kind of crazy. I just crossed into the Peach State.
When I went to Wicked Weekend, that was a pretty good race experience. Well, I went there to watch. I didn't race, but it was a pretty cool atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. AMS is pretty cool over in Alabama. That one's...
Yeah.
I didn't race it, but I've been over there to lunch, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Owen told me about that one. He's like, that's one that you need to hit.
Yeah, they do. You know, Race Time does a really good job with all those events. You know, the production is phenomenal. Dave and his crew do a good job, so that's all pretty cool. And you know, just those 8-scale races, it's just amazing how many entries are at those races.
Right.
You know, I think when I went to Psycho, I want to say there was over 800 entries.
Gosh.
You know, I want to say that. I don't recall. It might have been more. So practice time, you know, the line for practice was pretty long, but, you know, it went fairly quick. And, you know, a lot of people complained about not getting a lot of track time, and, you know, I felt like I was getting ample track time for practice. You know, you just had to, you know, go out and do your run, make some changes, get right back in line, you know?
Right.
You know, it's just, you had to spend the time in line to get your track time, but, yeah, I went by myself, so, you know, I could go back, make whatever changes or adjustments I needed to, and then get right back in line and get it on the track. Yeah, I thought it went pretty well.
Right.